President Trump, in a move that shocked global markets, has imposed sweeping new tariffs on goods from Canada, Mexico, and China. The tariffs, announced on February 1, 2025, represent a significant escalation of trade tensions between the United States and its largest trading partners. The administration levied a 25% tariff on all goods imported from Canada and Mexico, with a 10% tariff specifically targeting Canadian energy. China faces an additional 10% tariff on top of existing levies. The tariffs mark a stark departure from traditional trade policy and have been met with widespread condemnation. Critics argue that they will harm American consumers, disrupt global supply chains, and lead to a trade war. The Trump administration, however, maintains that the tariffs are necessary to protect American jobs and reduce the trade deficit. This is not the first time that President Trump has used tariffs as a tool of economic policy. In 2018, he imposed tariffs on steel and aluminum imports from several countries, including Canada and Mexico. These tariffs were met with retaliatory measures from those countries, and the dispute had a significant impact on the global economy. The new tariffs are likely to have an even greater impact, given the size and importance of the economies involved. Canada and Mexico are the United States' two largest trading partners, and China is the world's second largest economy. The tariffs are already having a ripple effect throughout the global economy, as businesses and investors grapple with the uncertainty created by the Trump administration's actions. The response to the tariffs was swift and severe. Canada and Mexico immediately announced retaliatory tariffs on a range of U.S. goods, targeting politically sensitive sectors like agriculture and manufacturing. The Canadian government also took the symbolic step of banning American alcohol from government functions and encouraging citizens to buy Canadian products. China, while not mirroring the immediate tit-for-tat approach, announced its intention to file a lawsuit with the World Trade Organization, challenging the legality of the tariffs. Chinese officials also promised countermeasures should the U.S. not reconsider its position, though they stopped short of specifying what those measures would be. Global markets reacted with a mixture of panic and confusion. U.S. stock futures tumbled, indicating a sharp decline at the opening bell. Asian markets closed the day significantly lower, with Japan's Nikkei index experiencing its largest single-day drop in over a year. European markets followed suit, with major indices across the continent ending deep in the red. The instability wasn't confined to traditional markets. Cryptocurrency markets, known for their volatility, also cratered. Bitcoin, the world's largest cryptocurrency by market cap, plunged more than 10% in value, wiping out billions of dollars in market capitalization within hours of the tariff announcement. The economic impact of the tariffs is expected to be significant and far-reaching. The Tax Foundation, a nonpartisan think tank, predicts that the tariffs will cost each American household an average of $830 per year in the form of higher prices for consumer goods. The tariffs are also projected to reduce U.S. economic output by 0.4% and increase overall U.S. taxes by $1.2 trillion over the next decade. These predictions highlight the inherent flaw in protectionist trade policies like tariffs. While often presented as a way to protect domestic industries and jobs, tariffs ultimately act as a tax on consumers. By artificially inflating the price of imported goods, tariffs reduce competition in the marketplace, leading to higher prices for both imported and domestically produced goods. The impact on specific industries is also likely to be severe. American farmers, already struggling with low commodity prices and the ongoing trade war with China, are bracing for further pain as retaliatory tariffs target agricultural exports. Manufacturing, a sector that Trump promised to revitalize, is also vulnerable as tariffs drive up the cost of imported raw materials and components. The long-term economic consequences of the tariffs are difficult to predict with certainty. However, history suggests that protectionist trade policies rarely achieve their intended goals and often lead to unintended negative consequences. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930, for example, is widely credited with exacerbating the Great Depression by sparking a global trade war. The international community has reacted with a mixture of condemnation and concern. Leaders from the European Union, Japan, and other major economies have expressed their opposition to the tariffs and warned of the dangers of a global trade war. The World Trade Organization, the international body charged with regulating global trade, has also criticized the tariffs and urged the U.S. to reconsider its actions. The tariffs have strained relations between the United States and its closest allies. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau expressed disappointment and frankly confusion at the Trump administration's decision, pointing out that Canada has consistently worked with the U.S. to address its concerns. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador called the tariffs unjustified and vowed to defend Mexico's interests. The imposition of these tariffs represents a dangerous gamble by the Trump administration. While the stated goal of the tariffs is to protect American jobs and reduce the trade deficit, the reality is that they are likely to have the opposite effect. By raising prices for consumers, disrupting global supply chains, and inviting retaliatory measures from other countries, the tariffs threaten to damage the U.S. economy and undermine global economic stability. The world is now watching anxiously as the trade war escalates, hoping that cooler heads will prevail and that a negotiated solution can be found. The stakes are high, and the consequences of failure are too great to contemplate. The future of the global economy may very well hinge on the outcome of this trade dispute.